passengers to change their plans on Thursday. There was some cancellations along Metro North early Friday morning. Amtrak on its X account noting there were delays in service between Stamford and New Haven. Officials hope service is fully restored in time for the Monday morning rush. Yankees over the Red Sox last night, 9-6. The Mets beat the Rockies 4-2. Red Sox and Yanks tonight in the Bronx. Pregame right here on WTIC 1080 at 6:35. Mets in Colorado, first pitch at 9:40. Stanley Cup, Panthers over the Oilers 5-4. Series is tied at 1 game apiece. NBA Finals, Pacers and Thunder resume their series tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Pacers lead 1-0. The running of the Belmont Stakes today in Saratoga, while Belmont Park continues to be renovated. And boxing is back at Boston's Fenway Park.
Super excited to be fighting at Fenway Park this year. I am a local. Grew up in Massachusetts, live in New Hampshire now, but have been always a diehard Red Sox fan, so it's really an honor.
The last athlete to win a fight there was the Boston Bomber, Tony DeMarco, back in 1956. Tonight's feature is boxer Alexis Bolduc taking the ring in, again, Fenway Park. Roland Garros, Arena Sabalenka, and Coco Gauff playing for the Women's Championship tomorrow. It's Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz for the men's title.
Today brings a much cooler but still rather humid start to the weekend with lots of clouds around. Watch for a couple of showers, even a thunderstorm in the area, especially later in the day with a high reaching 72. Then a dry night tonight, as it turns out partly to mostly cloudy around the area with a low of 59. That sets up for a slightly less humid day for tomorrow. It's not really going to feel refreshing with clouds much of the time and a high of 76. For tomorrow night, the next storm arrives with even more clouds, showers at times, and a low of 57. And those showers may very well continue into the morning hours of Monday before gradually tapering off, leaving just a mostly cloudy sky and a high of only 71. For Tuesday, expect more clouds once again. The pattern doesn't break until we deal with a couple more showers and a thunderstorm through the day with a high of 72. But finally, Wednesday brings warmer conditions and the return of sunshine with a high of 81. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab is up next. 70 degrees, muggy degrees out there and cloudy in Hartford. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
The Travelers Championship is thrilled to bring back the always popular Stanley Black & Decker Fan Zone June 18th to the 22nd. Need a break from all the excitement on the course? Head to the Fan Zone for family-friendly fun, including interactive activities, concessions, shaded seating, and much more. It's all part of the Northeast's only PGA Tour signature event. And kids 15 and under are free with a ticketed adult. So bring the whole family. Visit TravelerChampionship.com now for all the information.
Retirement statements just hit mailboxes, and for many, the shock is real. Some investors lost 20% or more in just the first quarter. If you're close to retirement, that's more than a dip. It's a danger. But here's what most advisors won't tell you. Gold was up over 30% during the same time. That's a 60% swing. And in retirement, that kind of gap can change everything. So compare your Q1 statement to gold's performance. Then call Noble Gold Investments. Noble Gold specializes in helping people protect what they've earned with real assets like gold and silver. If you're tired of watching your nest egg shrink, it may be time for a change. And right now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. Compare and call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hey, Joe, what happened to your teeth? They look amazing.
Oh, you know, years of root canals, crowns, gum treatments. I got tired of it all. So I went to Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. They removed my bad teeth and gave me permanent new ones. Same day.
Wait, you walked out with new teeth?
Yep, it's called All for One. They place 4 implants and attach a full set of connected teeth. It's not 4 teeth, it's a full smile. I feel like a new man.
Call Columbia Implant Center at 860-730-6020. All for One. One day, one life-changing smile.
This is Erik Miner from Miners Incorporated in Canton, Connecticut.
Erik used to have an in-house IT staff, but not anymore.
Certainly the difference between when we did it ourselves and having Tab do it now is that they certainly know more about what they're doing than we ever did.
Not only does Erik get IT expertise, Tab Computer Systems doesn't tie him or his company's funds to a long-term contract.
Tab has been good at helping us to do what we do well and what we need to do well.
Which is sell building supplies and lumber. With Tab's monthly service plan, Erik's company has its own IT department that has to earn his business each month.
I would not hesitate at all to recommend Tab Computer Systems to assist any small business out there.
No long-term contracts. Just another reason to call Tab today. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. Or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And good morning. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And welcome to this nice sunshiny Saturday morning. Made you look. No, that's not the case. Just another rainy day in Connecticut. But we're here, a couple of pasty white computer geeks still because there's no sunshine. Here to help you out. We're in studio, of course, to help you out with your computer comments, questions, and concerns. Here till 11 o'clock, and the lines are already ringing, oddly. So you guys remembered that we started at 9, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. But we do have our normal, early segment here where we talk about some sort of technology news we think you should be aware of. And one of the first items up is something that is kind of concerning, huh, Dennis?
Yeah, it is. This is something that I was tipped off to.
Yeah.
And then I did a little looking, and there are quite a few stories about this on the internet now from a lot of outlets.
Yep.
And the FBI had issued some guidance about it.
All
So
right.
it's important, and
Yep.
it's really affecting people.
All right.
There is a phishing operation.
Mm-hmm.
They're also doing some vishing, where they make a voice call.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using AI to generate the voices of government officials.
Yeah.
And it appears the campaign is using different figures.
Mm-hmm.
The story that I've heard is that a senator's office called someone
Gotcha.
and expressed concern about some of the person's accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
And that call ended, which was completely appropriate. And that's what we want you to do. When you get some of these, just hang up. Do not engage with
just imagine your senator calling you to help you. Come on. Just start with that.
Yeah, they're not going to, the senator's office is not going to call you out of the blue.
To help you with anything.
CISA is not going to call you
No.
out of the blue. None of these people are going to do that for you. At any rate, what appears to be the scam, according to the FBI, is that what the scammers are trying to do is to get you to open a link so that you can have an online chat with somebody that's going to help you with whatever it is that they're telling you is the problem.
Your accounts.
Well, it can be your accounts, but the FBI's guidance on this was very, and it seems deliberately vague. And I think the problem is that they're calling with different pretexts.
Yeah.
I mean, they might call and say there's a problem with your bank account, or they might call and say somebody's hacked your Facebook account, or we don't know exactly what the pretext is that they're going to feed you as the enticement to go along with the scam. But so you're going to have to look at this with a wider view. Don't wait for a call about a particular thing. Just remember that these government officials are not going to contact you out of the blue
To help you with anything.
And please don't open any links that they want you to open.
And
just don't do it.
The issue with AI now being so able to just simply sound however they want it to sound, right?
Right.
The overseas call centers where you obviously are hearing folks from the third world calling you saying you have a problem, you could easily kind of say, well, I don't know who you are, but I don't think you're legit. Now they can use AI and produce these whole personas that actually maybe even sound like your senator.
Right. Well, I think that's probably what the whole point of this operation is.
Right.
They are using this AI to use familiar voices that people are going to react to.
Right.
And you're going to say, oh, yeah, well, Senator Murphy is calling me, or whoever it is.
They'll add the pretentious whine to the voice. And you'll be like, oh, it's got to be him.
So, yeah, don't engage these guys, and certainly don't open any of these links.
No, be careful out there.
Oh,
Again, anybody calling you saying they're going to, from any institution, out of the blue, to help you, please.
No, they're not.
If you think that's going to happen, whether it be any company or what have you, let alone your government, oh my gosh, I got a bridge to sell you. In other news, okay, so this is kind of sad, right? A ship abandoned off Alaska after electric cars on board catch fire. And of course, this is from the Register. Water everywhere, but it could just make it worse. The U.S. Coast Guard and civilian vessels have rescued 22 sailors off the coast of Alaska. And basically, they had like 3,000 vehicles from China bound for Mexico, I guess. And a car or a battery had an issue, and it caught fire. And, of course, putting out a battery fire is a difficult thing to do, even when it's just one car on the highway. We've heard the stories of the fire trucks putting thousands of gallons of water on these things. And but once these things start catching fire and they're close by to each other, not much you can do. And of course, using salt water is another issue because it's a better conductor.
Right.
The other issue too with batteries like this is that even after you put the fire out, whatever they've been through, they can still later on down the line spark or have issues because of what occurred during whatever contact with water that they had.
Well, especially salt water, because the salt itself will still be there even if it dries out completely.
Right. So you think about the e-bikes that might have been impacted by the west coast of Florida hurricanes, and they might have got flooded, and the batteries could have been impacted, and then months later they're exploding or catching fire. So we'll put the link up here for you to read, and you shouldn't be surprised about lithium batteries and what could happen and how hard it is to put them out. But the other issue is when you're shipping 3,000 vehicles, maybe don't have them all.
Yeah, maybe don't pack them all together.
Yeah, maybe think about some separation there. But it is what it is. I guess I know you want to just pollute less, but now you've got possibly a burning ship that's going to hit the bottom of the ocean with a bunch of electric cars. What could go wrong? 800 of these vehicles, I guess, were electric at the time. So,
wow,
they're possibly all going to be a loss here. But we'll put a link up there to that story as well. Anything else you want to bring up there, Dennis?
Well, yeah. I wanted to talk about something that's going on with computers these days.
Yeah.
We have modern computers that have nice, modern, fast USB-C ports.
Yeah.
That support different protocols like Thunderbolt and DisplayPort and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And power too.
And yes, and they carry power. You can use them to charge your phone while your laptop is running and all of that. I mean, it's a very useful thing when it works right.
Yeah.
The problem is that the implementation of these things is not even on laptops. Even between different models from the same manufacturer, they support different types of protocols. They'll put out different wattages of electricity for powering devices. This is something that we've bumped into at Tab, at least I have, where somebody has a portable monitor that they were using with an old laptop that they replaced with a nice new one, and it's supposed to work great, right?
Yeah, the old monitor, yeah.
Right, but they plug that portable monitor, which gets its power from the video cable, so you only have that one cable.
From the USB-C port.
Right, from the USB-C port.
Yeah.
And it's dead, and nobody knows why. And after some research, it turns out, and at least in one case that I know of, the laptop was not capable of putting out enough wattage through the USB-C port to power that monitor. And that's why the monitor was dead, okay? It did everything else that was needed. It just wouldn't put out enough juice.
So could it be that the portable monitor just has a higher consumption that most laptop outputs assume you're going to need?
No, this is a problem that we bumped into with several of these things.
I know.
I think it's
playing devil's advocate.
I know, and the monitor people probably play a role in this too, and that their support for these protocols is probably not even either. Okay, so I'll give you that.
Yep.
Well, Microsoft has issued guidance to the manufacturers of laptops.
Wait a minute.
and
They're going to
computers.
deduct some sort of a approach that people should take about how to build computers, the folks that have such issues with operating systems?
Amazingly.
Okay. All right, let's see what they say.
They want the laptop manufacturers to make sure that USB-C is consistently supported and that it just works, in quotes.
Really? Microsoft is actually saying they would like something to just work?
Yes.
Wouldn't we like that too, Microsoft?
I mean, we can ask that of them, yes.
Yeah, nobody is.
But at least they're calling attention to this problem because it is a problem. I mean, I'm telling you, we've got calls about these things.
No. I agree. If you've seen it, I who would argue with you, Dennis? You're out there seeing it, but it is ironic. It's kind of like, glass houses. I mean, pot calling kettle. I mean, all sorts of things going on here with Microsoft. Of all the organizations to ask for something to just work.
Consistency.
Yeah, we would like something to just work, Microsoft. I almost want to frame that.
Now, if I could get into, 365 instances that have the same interface from one to another.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, that would be lovely too. But I don't get that.
So many examples. So many. That we'd like Microsoft to just work. All right, well, let's go and see if Microsoft has some clout. I'm sure the manufacturers are laughing like we are too. But all right, it's an aspiration.
Well, it's something that they can impose. They may be able to impose contractually, depending on the arrangements they've got with the manufacturers. So they may be in a position to really force the issue. Is what I'm getting at.
Well, maybe. But
maybe.
Then again, Android's coming up fast, and Chrome is extremely powerful too. So Microsoft either better get their stuff to just work, or Android's going to be like, we're going to eat your lunch. That's my prediction in the next half decade, that we're going to be talking about Android operating systems and not Microsoft, but that's just me. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock. Feel free to get online. Tom, Sheila, and we have two lines open for you. 860-522-9842 is the number. We'll be right back.
Russell Speeders Car Wash is proud to support canines for CT vets. When you wash your car at Russell Speeders, you're helping provide service dogs to Connecticut veterans in need. Shine up your ride and make a difference. Visit Russell Speeders Car Wash today, proudly supporting our heroes, one clean car at a time. Russell Speeders Car Wash. Clean cars, strong communities.
Need space in a hurry? Order your storage container at eagleleasing.com or call 1-800-GET-EAGLE and we'll have it delivered on site like that. I'm Mike Eagle, and just remember, don't get stressed, get Eagle. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Need a space shot? Rent one of our clean, dry, ground-level storage containers from Eagle Leasing today. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or check us out and get a quote at eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle, and you see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Hey, Yard Goats fans, get ready for a thrilling season of baseball. And make sure you don't miss a single pitch, because this year, no goat gets left behind. Whether you're at home or on the road or out with friends, you can stream every game, every inning, and every unforgettable moment anytime and anywhere, exclusively on the Odyssey app. So wherever you are and whenever you want, the Yard Goats are just a tap away. Don't miss a second of the season. Powered by Verizon. For a limited time, get their best price ever. Drop into your local Verizon store today to learn more.
Caring makes all the difference. Experience the care at the Bradley Home and Pavilion, where community and caring go hand in hand. As you arrive, a newly remodeled and updated facility awaits you with all of the amenities to provide a place of comfort, security, and peace of mind. The Bradley Home and Pavilion is the place to thrive and have fun. While the space has changed, a commitment to the best quality of life remains the same. The Bradley Home and Pavilion, where community and caring go hand in hand. Experience the care at thebradleyhome.org.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. Get an affordable online skills-based education to move your career forward. UMGC offers no-cost digital materials in place of textbooks in most courses. Low-cost tuition and over $21 million in scholarship opportunities each aid year. Find out if you qualify at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit getcarter.com.
That's getcarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
All right, we are back. This is Computer Talk here till 11 o'clock. You guys are woken up this morning. It's 9 o'clock. You remembered the show starts at 9. We really appreciate that. And let's get right to your calls. We're going to go to Tom in Harwinton first. What's going on, Tom?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine. So I have a problem accessing YouTube using Firefox. I've been having problems with Brave where it won't even show me the videos. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. You know, it disables my ad blocker, and there's still issues. So I says, just out of curiosity, how would this work on Firefox? So I type in the URL for Firefox. And you know how, and this is on a desktop PC, Windows 10. You know how when Windows starts to come up and you see all these grayed out screens where they're going to put thumbnails for videos? That's all I get. I mean, I would
do you
get
have
that
an ad
also.
blocker?
Yes.
Most likely that's the issue.
Yeah, I would think so. But I'm also seeing reports from different people saying just Firefox in general sometimes has trouble with YouTube. Or it could be conversely that YouTube is doing something with their site that is then causing Firefox to break. So it could be either side of the equation. But my first go-to would be to do what Erik suggested, which is to turn off the ad blocker on YouTube
and see if it works. If it does, that's your culprit.
Okay, so on Chrome and Brave, the same ad blocker is in place. And I really don't have a problem.
Yeah, it could just perform differently in Firefox than it does in those other programs.
The other alternative, Tom, is just to use those tools. Must you use Firefox?
Pardon me?
Why use Firefox if the other two work?
Well, because again, Brave was not showing me the videos sometimes. Like I tested it this morning, and it's showing me the videos without a problem. Yeah. Yesterday, it would just come up with that black screen telling me that I'm violating their terms of service, and it wouldn't show the videos, but I could watch them on Chrome. Yeah. But I wanted a third option because if this happens on Chrome, now I can't get to YouTube.
Well, right, but again, when they warn you about violating their terms of service, the terms of service require you to watch without an ad blocker.
Right.
That's their terms.
Well, the other thing, all right, so what do you think of this? I have two ad blockers. One of them is called, one is AdBlock Plus, and the other one is Webmail Blocker. And they're turning off the Webmail Blocker, which has nothing to do with websites. It has to do with email.
Right.
And they're leaving the other one on. Now, this, again, is on Chrome and Brave.
Yeah.
Things typically work okay, but I don't even have the Webmail Blocker on the Firefox browser. I have the AdBlock Plus. Right. So I can turn it off and see what happens. I figured there's something screwy in Firefox. I went through all my settings, which I can't figure out. I mean, there's nothing specifically that says don't show YouTube,
No. It's got to be I would bet, I'm 90% sure it's your ad blocker.
I'll give it a shot. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, unfortunately for us to get the cool amounts of stuff that's on YouTube, they want to get paid. The people want to get paid.
Yeah, and I just happened to find a Reddit thread that describes exactly what he was talking about, where it looks like it's trying to load those video block thumbnails.
Yeah, the previews.
And it's not finishing loading them. I mean, the person posted a screenshot of it right there.
Yeah.
And the solution that different people mention is to turn off different extensions, not just ad blocking, but other extensions. Turn them off for YouTube. That seems to be the solution.
Or use a different browser.
All right, yeah.
Let's go as quickly as we can to Sheila. We may have to hold over to the news here. What's going on, Sheila?
Good morning. I have a new Mint mobile cell phone service. I just bought, the SIM card for 3 months. And I'm wondering if my my phone is hacked because every day I get, in the messages function, I get a message, and it starts with a phone number with the area code 725, and then it says, you have a new message in your TD 2nd Street inbox. Read it here. And then there's a website, https ://LOJ-EEOU. That's on the first screen.
Yeah.
I have opened it, and I try to clear it every time I see that message. I swiped the delete,
right.
and I used the clear option, but I don't seem to know how to call it spam and make it stop.
Right, using Android?
No, iPhone.
It's an iPhone. There should be a setting where you can mark that as spam. I know with Android it's pretty easy. You just kind of hover over it and block it as spam. It's just a spam text is all you're getting here, Sheila. I would not worry about it other than if you want to block it. You should be able to do it in the iPhone. I don't know that off the top of my head. Do you know, Dennis, or are you looking it up?
Well, I'm looking it up. We can post an article about that.
Yeah, you should be able to just mark these incoming texts as spam. However, they can keep changing their phone number.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah. So we'll show you how to do this, and then we'll never be able to stop these folks from doing this to you.
Well, the article that I found tells you not only how to block, but then report it as spam.
Yeah.
Which is a way of getting it to stop even if they change the number, because the carrier, once they know that it's spam, they may block those messages from wherever.
Well, we'll put a link up there for you, Sheila, over at computertalkwithtab.com, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Sheila's going to check out how she can block the spam coming at her. Some phones do a better job than other too. You can set different ranges of some of these spam blockers on your text depending on the operating system. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock, so feel free to get online early. 860-522-9842 is the number. Everything we've talked about has been posted over at computertalkwithtab.com. We'll be right back.
With McValue at McDonald's, you don't just get deals on the drinks, you get deals on McDonald's drinks. So when you're breaking a sweat, embrace the chill without breaking the bank. And when your crew is running on empty, keep your wallet full while refreshing the squad.
Don't just pass the vibe check. Ace it with drinks like Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper, or any size soft drink for $1.39. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you're looking for the best deal on Nexen tires, go to Town Fair Tire and get an unbeatable combination of Nexen tires at the guaranteed lowest price and more free services for life than anywhere else. With over 100 locations, Town Fair has over 600,000 tires in stock. So we buy Nexen tires for less, and we always sell them for less. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
71 degrees and cloudy in Hartford at 9:30. Good morning, not good afternoon. Good morning. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. We could see some storms later or just some showers. Forecast coming up. A man who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador earlier this year is now back on U.S. soil. The case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia raising constitutional questions about the Trump administration's use of power. He's now facing new federal charges. A Meriden High School senior was taken into custody by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, according to WFSB, just days before his graduation. According to the district superintendent, in a letter to the district superintendent, Mark Benini says the Maloney High School student was detained at an immigration hearing in Hartford. The student's name was not released. The body of another hostage held in Gaza has been returned to Israel.
Today looks humid once again, but cool.
I guess we'll have to get that at another time. Good Night and Good Luck, which has broken box office records and is nominated for 5 Tony Awards, to be shown tonight live on CNN. The last show will be tomorrow's matinee. The Tony Awards will be presented Sunday in New York City at 8 o'clock. Now, checking our forecast.
Today looks humid once again, but cooler with a cloudy sky. A couple of showers, even a thunderstorm around, especially late with a high of 72. Then partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 59, followed by a somewhat less humid day tomorrow with clouds much of the time and a high of 76. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues next. 71 degrees and cloudy in Hartford. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
When you've got plumbing problems, you want to get them taken care of ASAP. We get it. We're Joe the Plumber, and we promise fast, friendly, reliable service. So when your sink or toilet or pipes act up, get the plumbers who get it. Find out more at calljoetheplumber.com.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Meet Viant AI, the world's first fully autonomous advertising platform. With Viant AI, you can automate media planning, analyze results, and drive smarter decisions, all while saving you time and resources. Viant AI helps you unlock new potential and boost productivity regardless of your expertise. Visit Viant.ai today and see how the future of artificial intelligence in advertising can work for you.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Don't you forget about me. Don't you.
All right, we're back. It's commencement time. And
It is?
Carolyn thought maybe that would be some cool tunes for commencement as you all sit up there and talk about commencing into the world and speaking truth to power. And then they tell you with COVID to hide in your house and don't speak to us. Good luck. Good luck with that. But it is commencement time, and we're going to honor that as you, all your commencement speaker, all the commencement I've attended with my kids, and even when I graduated, was all about that. And then that went all out the window, like 1984. But we'll, I digress. But I just connect that song with that. Let's go to Bob in Hebron. What's he doing? Hey, Bob.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, my problem is that Facebook, which is my Facebook, which I hardly ever use, and it's very ancient. I can't change the password on it, and I also couldn't put two-factor authentication on it.
All right, I assume you're trying to reset the password, but what is it telling you when you do that?
Well, it's when I'm trying to do the password, it gets all the way to put in your old password,
right?
Put in your new password, put in your new password again.
Yep.
And then you hit go button or whatever it was, and then it just endlessly keeps going.
Oh, no error. It just loops?
Yeah, yeah. It just keeps. It just. It's not like it's free. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Number one, have you tried this in different browsers?
No.
Number two, have you tried it in either in private or incognito mode in a browser?
No, I don't think so. Certainly not on purpose.
Well, I'm just wondering if using a different browser might help, or opening up a private or incognito window in the browser that you do use might help, because there might be some baggage in there that's getting in the way. I mean, there could be like a session token that was left behind, and it's still trying to read that, and it can't verify the account. There's a whole lot of stuff that can go wrong in the middle of this.
Yeah.
And I think by using either a different browser or an incognito window, that might help you get it done.
Other thoughts that people have is clearing your cache in your browser, which would be another.
Well, that
example
would
of
be
using
another way of getting around what I was talking about.
And then, believe it or not, Facebook might be blocking you from doing it because it looks like you've tried it too many times.
Oh yeah, that's true. And they may, if that's the case, they may not actually tell you that because they don't want to tip you off.
Right.
Assuming that you were a scammer trying to break into your account.
Right.
They don't want to tip you off that they're wise to that.
And you can reach out, I guess, which I've never done, to Facebook support. Good luck.
Yeah, right.
But I would think before you do that,
one other thing that may be a clue to what's going on is.
Well, I'm not sure that clue is an easy one here.
Oh.
What's the clue, Bob? You're gone. You dropped.
I think he dropped.
He's still on the line, though.
Huh.
Bob is having issues with the phone because he dropped off 3 different phone lines here at WTIC. So I don't know what the clue is, Bob, but hopefully we gave you some things to try because we can't hear you anymore. But password resets can be trouble, even in businesses. You could have something you're logging into on one device regularly, and then you have a password change that has to happen. So you change your domain password, but your mail's already tried 3 times to connect in on the old password, and all of a sudden you get locked out, right? I mean, how many examples, Dennis, do you guys deal with password resets across all sorts of different things?
Oh, we get calls about that all the time.
Yeah. Just
unfortunately, that's how it goes.
The moment you change it, have you changed it fast enough on the other one? The other one's hitting on the wrong account.
Yeah.
And it looks fishy to the system, and it locks you out. So
right.
That's probably what Bob's dealing with. But you definitely change your passwords. Carolyn let us know of something that I wasn't aware of. I'm happy to admit that we didn't know something. She's sending us the link right now so I know more what I'm talking about. But I guess there were some Snapchat and accounts like that and Facebook and others that were breached recently. So we're going to take a look at that link out there. Anytime these sites get breached, you need to change your password. And be sure you're not using the same password on any other of accounts that you use, right? So if your Snapchat password is the same thing as your Facebook password, which is the same thing as your LinkedIn password, well, the bad guys have all those things, right? Because they're going to see your email, they're going to see your password, they're going to be like, oh, Carolyn, I see you like to log in as Computer Talk with Tab as number 2 is your password, and we're going to try that over on your Facebook page. And of course, you're not going to get in because she listens to the program and would never use the same password. She'll say it'll be Computer Talk with Tab should have been number 1, but that's that's her other password. But no, that's the thing with these password managers and stuff like that, where you have to deal with maintaining this. But if the breach occurs, you definitely want to make some changes to those things because the bad guys have access to it now. And if you don't have 2-factor authentication turned on, they're going to try to get in because they may have access to that password. So turn that on, then who cares if they have access to your password? The 2-factor will block them. Unless you let them in because you get a code and you're like, okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Let's let them in. As we wait for your calls, 860-522-9842. Any news you want to talk about, Dennis?
Well, yeah. We have another story about a different, I mentioned one phishing campaign before.
Yeah.
Using AI.
Mm-hmm.
This one is more of a live action one where actual callers from, the third world are calling people.
Yes.
And they're calling people who work at companies that use a CRM product called Salesforce.
Pretty popular.
It's very popular. It's everywhere. And what they're doing is they're calling these people and contriving to get them to install a new version of the Salesforce app that has their own payload in it rather than the one that you want to connect to.
And they sound very
convincing. They are. I would assume that they've been trained as like IT professionals, so they know what to say, how to say it in order to get people to go along with the scam.
Right. So again, do you have Prince Albert in a can? Yes, I do. This is the same thing. Are you running Salesforce? Yes, I am.
Yeah,
you need an issue.
There's been an update. You need an update to Salesforce in order to keep using it.
Right.
And of course, people are going to hear things like that, and they're going to be like, "Oh no, I'm not going to be able to do my work. I better get this right away." And it triggers, whatever the response is that they want to have.
Yeah, and the other issue could be like when they call up and just ask about whether or not you run Salesforce is if they already know where you work because they checked out your LinkedIn, and you can say, "Hey, this is such and such company IT support for your Salesforce. I need you to do this change."
Yeah, and that's how they would know that your company uses Salesforce, because they know where you work,
right?
And they know who Salesforce's customers are in some cases.
You just can't believe anything these days. You almost always have to hang up and say, "Okay, thank you for your information, but I'm going to call my tech support myself before you do anything," because you just can't accept a call out of the blue. You can't accept an email from who you think is your IT department. It may not be the case. Unfortunately, IT departments do have to communicate with the same tools the bad guys are, so it's impossible to not have them send email notices or whatever way they communicate with you. They're going to use the same tools the bad guys are, and there's really no way to differentiate because the bad guys can take your company logos. They can actually create domains that look close enough to what your current domain is, or they would modify it to make it look like it's, let's say you're at, acme.com as where you work. Well, they can be acmesupport.com, and that might be enough for you to be like, "Oh, that's got to be us, Acme, or acmeitsupport.com," right? They're going to be, "Oh, I see Acme in the name. It must be our company IT support. I'll go ahead and respond." So we just have to assume everything these days is a phish or a scam.
And you have to worry about the letters too, right?
Letters like in the mail?
Like the A. No, like the actual letters in the addresses, because they'll try to throw different fonts in or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that from my work trainings.
Yes.
and listening to the show, obviously.
You're right.
That is a trick that they use. Yep.
They use Cyrillic fonts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they hide it right in plain sight. So be careful out there, guys. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock. 4 lines wide open. 860-522-9842 is the number. We're here to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. This is Computer Talk. We'll be right back.
Just out of college? Let's get you the experience you need to kickstart your career. Join Odyssey, a cutting-edge multimedia company where creativity meets opportunity. We're looking for dynamic, driven individuals like you to be a part of our sales associate program. Get hands-on training in advertising, marketing, and digital sales with the chance to work in a hybrid work environment alongside senior multi-market account executives. Visit odysseyinc.com/careers and search Sales Associate under Farmington CT.
Russell Speeders Car Wash is proud to support canines for CT vets. When you wash your car at Russell Speeders, you're helping provide service dogs to Connecticut veterans in need. Shine up your ride and make a difference. Visit Russell Speeders Car Wash today, proudly supporting our heroes, one clean car at a time. Russell Speeders Car Wash. Clean cars, strong communities.
Hi, I'm Jerry Puya from Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe. It is time to sip into summer at Between Rounds. Like frozen smoothies, we've got strawberry, peach, and mango for you to try. Like iced teas, choose from blackberry sangria, black pearl, red berry and floating lemon, as well as strawberry. All start with freshly brewed Lipton tea. Like coffee-based drinks, we offer fresh brewed iced coffees, several frozen coffee drinks, and of course, cold brewed coffees. Our current featured cold brew is bourbon vanilla. Finally, if you prefer, we offer iced chai. So, you see, come to Between Rounds hot and leave Between Rounds cool. Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe in Vernon, Manchester, South Windsor, East Windsor, and Tolland. We'd love to see you. Visit BetweenRoundsBagels.com for franchise information and to order online.
Savory, flavory, bagel, deli, and bakery. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Tastes so good. Between Rounds. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let
All right, we are back. This is Computer Talk. Feel free to get online. 4 lines open for you. 860-522-9842 is the number. No matter where you are in the old country, we can help you out. As we wait for your calls, this was kind of an interesting story I found during the week. Google Maps kind of lost its mind. It falsely told drivers in Germany that pretty much all roads were closed.
What?
Yes. And it was during a major public holiday on top of it. So the chaos ensued. And basically, if you're a GPS zombie like I am, I really can't get around my own town. because my brain used to think about when I was younger where I was going, right? I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to plan my route.
Yeah.
Right? But now, thanks to all the technology, I don't need to spend my time, my brain power, what little of it I have, on thinking about where I'm going, because I can just put the address into my GPS and it'll tell me where to go, and now I can think about whatever else I want to think about, right? Good thing and a bad thing. Well, for GPS zombies out there, in Germany, massive amounts of roads were marked closed if you were trying to get around Germany and using the Google system. And they don't know why. They don't know if it was a nefarious thing or just a bug or something happened, which is kind of interesting. And a lot of chaos ensued because people were trying to figure out where they were going. And again, this is the issue with this technology. Sometimes I believe Waze, which is a Google product, is telling me the truth as far as where I'm going to get. And sometimes, like I was on my way to Tab, I think it was Wednesday morning, and the Governor Street exit was blocked, and it didn't know. So I had to go around to the next exit and swing around to get back to Tab. It would be nice if Waze told me that, because maybe it would have told me to get off somewhere else before I went past an exit that was unusable. So you want the technology to work, and then, of course, when it doesn't, since you haven't even thought about how you're going to get from point A to point B, what are you going to do? So I'll put this story up here. You can read it. It's interesting, and my point, I guess, is you can't always trust it, but when do you not trust it?
Well, right. I mean, that's the whole point of even having it, right? So why would you be watching it and question it at the same time?
Right. So Tom wants to talk about GPS in Watertown. Hey, Tom, what do you got?
Hey, good morning. The GPS in my car works about 98% of the time.
Yeah.
But when it does get me lost, I feel lost with the loss of Tom Shattuck. And I wondered if, on your radio station, I wondered if you guys ever got on with him.
No, we never did.
Oh, best guy in radio, and he had more commercials. I can't believe he's gone. And as I thoroughly enjoy your show, I feel sad, and I miss him, and I don't mean to take it on your show, but couldn't get on yesterday because so many people wanted to say goodbye to him. Your comments?
I really don't have any. We don't work for the station. We're just, we sit here and do our show on the Saturday morning, so I don't have any idea as to what decisions were made or why they were made. And yeah, people come and go, and I'm, sorry to see them go, but it is what it is. That's how I see it.
Well, you've been on a long time, and people don't come and go. It's not fair. And you guys, I'd be pissed if you guys were gone. So thank you very much. Sorry to get in your way.
It's okay, Tom. Thanks for calling.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah, there's a Shattuck fan out there. I don't know. The way I always operate personally is your cheese can be moved at any time. And there's a book out there called Who Moved My Cheese? And if you always operate your day as far as understanding that cheese can be moved and what your alternatives are going to be, it is what it is. And I'm sure Tom will be great. He'll end up, his cheese was moved, and I'm sure he's already planned for that type of thing, and he'll find success elsewhere. And that's usually the way you should act and ask and deal with it. And whatever the decisions are made by, this management or what have you, hopefully it's for the best of the station. So
yeah.
I have no comment. I don't know any of the numbers. I don't work here. I'm not part of the management team, so we'll wish Tom well. But I put the information up there about the Google GPS issue, and you can read that at your leisure. What else you got there, Dennis? Anything?
Well, I've got a story about here. Let's see what we got. Community Bank.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They had a vendor that they used. That had a connection to their systems.
Yep.
All right. Now, the bank's own systems are, for all we know, they're rock solid, very secure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that vendor was breached.
The vendor, not the bank.
Correct.
The vendor who supported the bank.
Right. And then the bad guys who breached the vendor were able to tap into the data from the bank and collect up a lot of customer data.
Not bank money.
Not money, right. It's just information about, account holders and all of that stuff.
Account numbers too?
I believe they may have gotten some of that. Yeah, I think they got a lot of data on the customers. But it just goes to show you as the owner of a business and having your own network, you can have a nice secure network that is very effective and the bad guys aren't getting in.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're doing business with somebody else, and maybe their network isn't as secure as yours.
Oh,
and
they
then
haven't taken the same
that
training.
becomes the back door to get into your data through a a bona fide connection that exists between the two companies. And it happens a lot.
Oh my gosh! Remember the Target breach? That was the third party.
That was a third party, but in that case, the scammers then had to take advantage of a flaw in the point of sale systems at Target.
Mm-hmm.
They used the third party to get into Target's networks, and then they used an exploit in Target systems.
Yep.
So that's a little bit different scenario than what we're talking about here.
Yeah, this is breaching the actual
This
third
is
party.
breaching the third party and using only that connection in order to get the data out.
Right.
The bad guys never actually touched anything on the bank's network, at least as far as we know. So that's kind of, for me, that's really scary. That's very frightening. You are at the mercy of your vendors.
Correct. So then you've got the whole issue of making sure you should be doing, again, this is part of NIST, this is part of CMMC, you should be doing vendor management. You should, along with making sure your people are following the proper procedures and not giving out passwords and somebody says, hey, what's your password, like a ding-a-ling like I do all the time. You want to make sure that your vendors are doing the same thing. You want to make sure your vendors are locked down and have their proverbial you-know-what together. And make sure they're following these procedures. That's the whole point of CMMC and what CISA is trying to do with making sure our manufacturing suppliers that support the DoD are doing that. So if you're a Pratt & Whitney, you're a Lockheed Martin, you're Electric Boat, you're sending these parts and the parts information out to your sub manufacturers, which are going to be the folks that are going to do the shot peening, the folks that are going to do the laser welding. Those folks are going to have access to how to build a jet engine, a portion of it. It's called CUI. And the prime's going to push down that you, the person that's working on that part, a vendor of the prime, is protecting that data, right? And if you follow the proper framework, the theory is, you'll have a better shot at protecting that data and not having these types of breaches that Dennis just described. Now, it doesn't matter. When the Department of Defense itself gets breached, as they did with that Raptor, right? They had the whole layout of how Raptor was designed breached because the guys just went to the base. All that's going to go out the window. But, that's the whole concept of trying to make sure the people you're working with follow the proper processes and procedures and protect you all the way through. And think about it, too. All these different technologies that you're putting, like the CrowdStrikes of the world, you're putting these on your systems. You're trusting that vendor to not bring down 8 million systems.
Yes, you are. Ooh.
Yeah, and still their stock keeps rising. So I don't know who in these boardrooms are, but I don't get it. The point is, these vendors are. I'm sure CrowdStrike has vendors.
Well,
Do you think CrowdStrike themselves are working on the CrowdStrike product? Are they using third parties? I would bet they're using third parties.
They almost
themselves.
would have to. I don't see how they wouldn't be.
Yeah, we're just speculating. Yeah. But again, the whole chain is only as good as its weakest link. And in this case, this poor bank had a third party that had a pretty weak link. Let's go to Jerry in Ellington to see what he's got cooking. Hey, Jerry.
Hi.
What can we do for you?
I've listened to you guys since probably day one.
Oh, wow.
When you're selling leading edge and gateway computers.
Oh, we never sold gateway or leading edge. Never.
Yeah, you had a guy out commercial guy who was out in Talent, Mass.
No.
As a commercial guy.
No, that was not us, but I believe you. We were always we always did custom systems. Our systems were always tab.
Yeah, it was TJ was there too. But anyway, my issue is I have a Canon tank, the G7020 printer, and my real issues is how they set it up for scanning. And well, it tells you can use USB, but there's no USB outlet on it. So I don't know if that's a new thing. They sort of tell you to use one of those old printer cables, the thin ones that plug in, and then you're supposed to do something with it.
Like a Centronics cable?
No,
Well, Centronics cables are not what I would call thin.
No, but you could do ribbon-style Centronics cables.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
that goes way back.
No, it's the one the USB on from your computer to your to the printer itself. I don't know what they call that end, the type of end.
It's like a square-looking thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what's
Yeah.
called an A to B cable.
Yeah,
And
but there's no USB cable.
Yeah.
What's
that
the
they
model?
say you could,
Hey, Jerry.
the
7020.
7020. All right, we're gonna go do some look up some of the support on the Canon 7020
Yeah.
scanning and through the news. Can you hang on through the news, Jerry?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find how to interface with that old Canon printer. Yeah, for some reason my mind went to the old Centronics ribbons. Those things are really old technology.
Yeah.
Here to 11 o'clock. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number, and we'll do our best to help you out. But no, Tab never sold any of those types of computers. We were always selling our own brand of machines. So I'm trying to think why he's confused about that, because we've always done the Tab way. We'll be right back.
Here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means a $100,000 savings account today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up your tank, buy groceries, or pay the bills. Prices are up. Your dollar is down. But there's a simple way to protect the value of your savings with something real, something proven. Gold. An asset that holds its value over time. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold or silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers. Just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar as a thank you. Head to NobleGoldInvestments.com today to learn more. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Temper Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
70 degrees, showers in Hartford at 10 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. Storms from Texas to Boston causing property damage yesterday. Some storms bringing tornadoes. Planes stacked up on the runway at LaGuardia, New York. Hundreds of flights delayed. We could see some more storms or showers, which you have a shower right now, and later today as well. Forecast coming up. Manhunt underway in Washington State for an Army vet accused of killing his 3 young daughters before disappearing.
More than 100 police officers are scouring the rugged terrain of central Washington in search of the former Army soldier wanted in the murders of his 3 daughters.
Please turn yourself in. Let's wrap this up and do what's right for your kids.
32-year-old Travis Decker was last seen May 30th when he picked up his daughters for a scheduled visit. Their mother, Whitney, reported them missing hours later when he failed to return them to her home about 100 miles east of Seattle.
Ellie Bauman reporting. Workers dredging a small lake in Dallas getting a big surprise.
9 vehicles were discovered in the lake, 4 on Thursday and 5 on Friday. No human remains were found in the vehicles, which were brought onto land by the Dallas Police Department's underwater recovery team. That could indicate the vehicles were stolen and dumped, but police aren't sure. Inez Simpson had come to the park at the lake to relax.
Well, I was totally surprised when I came here. Usually it's just a quiet day, but saw the Dallas police cars, and I knew something was up.
Police think there are 3 more vehicles still in the water. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Few things to think about if you're flying for your summer vacation.
This is Peter Greenberg. If you're flying in the U.S. this summer, you might want to keep that seatbelt fastened for the entire flight, especially if you're traveling west of the Rocky Mountains. Thanks in part to global warming and climate change, there's more turbulence. And here are the worst airports and flight routes for turbulence in North America, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The list starts with Denver, Colorado, followed by Bozeman, Montana. Also making the most turbulent areas, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, Jackson Hole, and Las Vegas. Turbulence is also on the rise in Seattle, Reno, and Boise. Not surprisingly, the most turbulent route happens to be between 2 of the most turbulent cities, Albuquerque and Denver. Peter Greenberg, travel editor, CBS News.
Hartford Taste today, running from noon till 9 p.m. Yankees over the Sox last night 9-6. Mets beat the Rockies 4-2. Yankees and Red Sox tonight in the Bronx. Pregame right here on WTIC 1080 at 6:35. Mets in Colorado, first pitch 9:40. Stanley Cup, Panthers over the Oilers 5-4. Series is tied at 1 game apiece. NBA Finals, Pacers and Thunder resume their series tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Pacers lead 1 game to none. Running at the Belmont today in Saratoga, the Belmont Stakes, I should say. That's being run in Saratoga, New York, while the Belmont Park is being renovated. Roland Garros, Serena Sabalenka, and Coco Gauff going at it for the Women's Championship. Tomorrow it's Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz for the men's title. Boxing is back at Boston's Fenway Park.
Super excited to be fighting at Fenway Park this year. I am a local. Grew up in Massachusetts, live in New Hampshire now, but have been always a diehard Red Sox fan, so it's really an honor.
This is the first time female boxers will compete at the ballpark. Professional boxer Alexis Poldek will take the ring tonight.
WTIC weather.
Continuing humidity, but cooler conditions than yesterday under a cloudy sky with showers and a thunderstorm most likely late in the day with a high of 72, followed by just partly to mostly cloudy conditions for tonight and a low of 59. That leads into a slightly less humid day for tomorrow with clouds again most of the time and a high of 76, but showers do return tomorrow night with a low of 57 before Monday brings another passing shower or two, especially early in the day, then mostly cloudy sky with a high of 71. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues up next. 71 degrees and showers right now in Hartford. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
Need dental implants? Columbia Dental's prosthodontic experts specialize in placing and restoring implants for a natural, confident smile. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Drinking water is supposed to be odorless and colorless. If yours isn't, it probably doesn't taste good either. Joe the Plumber will test your water, then recommend the right water treatment systems or filter. That's something we can all raise a glass to. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
The 2025 Travelers Championship is bringing it all to TPC River Highlands June 18th through the 22nd. We're talking about 4 full days of intense competition between fan-favorite PGA Tour stars like Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Victor Hovland, Ludwig Oberg, and defending champion Scotty Scheffler. Take it from me, Chris Berman. Don't miss one shot of the Northeast's only PGA Tour signature event. Get your tickets to all the action now at TravelersChampionship.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I believe I heard Erik Semmel on the radio and then heard that he was from TAP Computer Systems, and I gave him a call.
That's Bruce Cloder, president of Swiss Cleaners and Uniform Services. He had problems with his computer network.
Our business runs 5 different servers for our different profit centers, and our network was complex to the point where we had different businesses going on in our server room. TAP understood them all and was able to take care of us.
How well has TAB taken care of Swiss Cleaners' computer network?
They have a great service department. Anytime I call, anytime I email, anytime I communicate, they immediately respond appropriately. We've been using them for 14 years, and in our business, we cannot operate without our network being up. And I'm proud to say that thanks to TAB Computer Systems, we've never been down.
Trust TAB's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. TAB Computer Systems.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with TAB, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of TAB Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we are here till 11. The lines are all starting to jam up, which is great. We do appreciate that because, again, without you guys calling in, we will be talking about our kids and Dennis's cats, and we don't want to do that. So let's go to Jerry and see if we can help him with his Canon scanner. Jerry, you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right, sir. Dennis has an idea for you.
Well, you're talking about the different kinds of USB ports, and I think your printer has one of each. It's going to have what's called a USB-A port on the front that you can plug a USB stick into, and you can print documents from that on the printer itself.
Handy dandy.
And then in the back, there's going to be a USB-B port that will then connect to your computer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but the only connections that I've seen is that one that I was telling you about with that small printer cable situation. But I'll look again.
Yeah, take another look at it. Look close to the power cable because everything should be clustered near that.
Right.
And if you're finding something else in another spot on the printer, it might not even be, a connectivity connection. It might be something like a slot for a security cable or something like that. I don't know. But take a look at that and see if I'm right. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing at this moment.
Yeah, because I went through the RFPM.
Yeah, you read the flipping manual?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I couldn't dig too much out of that. Can I ask another real quick question about that?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to use, I'm trying to print, I can print somewhat from my phone, but for scanning, do you use go to Mopria? You use that as an application? Because the actual Canon application on the phone doesn't really accommodate that.
So you want to scan from your phone using an app over to the Canon printer wirelessly.
Right.
And
right, exactly.
There should be if it's possible, there should be a wireless way to do it, but you're able to print right now wirelessly, you're saying?
Yes, without a problem, but the scan function seems to be totally non-existent or a problem to get to function that way.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so you would want to have the scan. Well, it depends on the app you use that's compatible with the printer you want to use.
Yeah.
I would tell you to scan it with whatever app you'd like to produce the actual output, a PDF, let's say, and then print the PDF.
But the generic, well, it's not a generic, but the second party, like Mopria.
I've not heard that before.
Using that? Oh. It's supposed to be a consortium of printer manufacturers to use it as a, as an app to multiple scans or printing functionality.
Well, I mean, again, if it's not working, it may not work with your particular drivers or Twain drivers or all that fun stuff when it has to do with scanning. But you could scan to a file, right? You can always scan to a file, and if your printing works, you can then print the file wirelessly, and you have 2 steps instead of 1, but it should work because you've said you can print wirelessly.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
And Dennis has got some more for you.
Well, I was looking into what Mopria is, and it is what you described. They are a consortium of manufacturers. Canon is a member, and they do participate in this. It's actually set up as a nonprofit. Well, it's a consortium, and usually they're done that way.
I was digging through this, trying to get it to work, and it's not been too successful, as you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, that's odd. I mean, if you can print wirelessly and you have this other tool, but scanning wireless, we've had other callers call in with all sorts of scanning issues too, and scanning is an issue when it comes to speaking to the device at the right speeds and what have you. So maybe it has to do with just maybe that consortium hasn't figured out your particular scanner. But I would just punt and to get my job done, I would do a scan to file and then print it because that works.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it convenient, but even the panel on this printer itself is like old school. It's not a touchpad kind of thing, which is another issue.
Have you updated the firmware?
And it's a tank.
Have you updated the firmware, Jerry? Is it the latest firmware? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a little.
Mike G found an article on the Canon support forums where somebody seems to have this issue, and they have their solution.
We'll post that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's worth looking at.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Sounds good, Jerry. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye. You too. A consortium, it's sad when you have to get a consortium together to figure out how to scan.
Well, yeah.
That should tell you all you need to know.
I mean, come on, guys.
A scanning confab. Let's go to Tom in Canton next. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, I just had a little comment that I just did on my own computer in the stage of living in Polynesia, I call it. I vacuumed out all my computer ports are on the keyboard underneath all the vents.
Nice.
And try and keep it clean. And also what I do is I keep it on this copper serving tray, so it's spaced off of the table I use it on.
Wow.
And I was thinking how kids a lot of time probably ruin their laptops by using them in bed or leaving them on a bed.
Yes. That's dangerous, too. It can overheat.
Yeah, just sit there and cook to death. And I have a question. It called in the end about you're going to become. I'm not going to mention a comment on the topic, but you guys are going to become a call-in show for the conservatives pretty quick, I think.
I hope not.
It's the computer days. Yeah. I walked into CVS store the other day to pick up a prescription for my kid, and the store texted my phone as I walked in the door.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to have my number or why. You know what I mean? How did they know I walked in the store?
Well, they may not have known you walked in the store. Are you saying they said hello? Welcome?
Well, they sent me a text as soon as I walked in the store, like a minute later.
Right. It could be coincidence, right? So if you had a prescription, I can't tell you how many texts CVS sends me. I'm trying to get less prescriptions. That's by losing weight, and that might help. But for right now, I can't even get them to figure out how to have the prescriptions line up so that I don't have to go for each one, right? So it wouldn't be nice if a 90-day subscription could be lined up amongst all 90-day subscriptions, but no, that's like a bridge too far. But I digress. They probably didn't text you as you walked in. It was probably just coincidental. I don't think they.
Actually, I take that back. It wasn't a prescription. Just a normal, pharmacy item that was a prescription.
Oh.
So they must have a sensor in the building that tells when. Because I've never got a text from them before. I usually don't get any prescriptions there. I go to Walmart. So kind of creepy.
Well, you could have location turned on the app. Do you use the pharmacy app that you're talking about?
No, I don't use any app at all.
Well,
So
again,
anyway, I just want to throw that out there. The Brave New World is coming quicker than we think, I think.
it could also be coincidence, but you could be right, Tom. Who knows?
I discovered when I have a little portable AM radio I use at work when I'm working outside.
Yes, sir.
And I'm walking down, I work in a boat place, so I'm walking down the dock, and wherever anybody had a camera on, my AM banded radio would pick up pulses from the camera.
What?
I'd get a bing, 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 bing on the phone, on the little AM portable radio, pocket radio, as I walk by any cameras that were there.
I don't know what you mean. So you have cameras on the docks that would...
Yeah, people have cameras on their boats to watch their boats for security.
Yeah.
So as I'm walking by the camera or getting anywhere near it within, say, 100 feet...
Oh, sure.
I start getting pulses from the camera.
Correct.
AM radio.
You might have interference that you hear because AM's a lot more sensitive.
I'm getting interference from the camera. So it's an interesting detection technique, I thought.
To know, I can tell you right now, we're all on camera almost every day now.
Yeah.
You can't avoid them anymore.
I agree. I'm always smiling.
There you go, Tom.
Anyway, take care. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Yeah, the cameras are everywhere. It's a good thing and a bad thing. You know, the coolest things now is that you can pretty much, you know, I just saw something on, I don't know, Facebook or something like that this morning about some sort of meteorite that was seen by hundreds of people, right? Dennis and I would never have seen that meteorite if it weren't for all the cameras, right?
Right.
I've never seen a meteorite live. I mean, you can see the shooting star at a nice clear night someday, but to see that, thanks to all the cameras that are out there. I mean, I got a camera on my car. I've got that, you know, dash cam, you know, that kind of thing. Lots of people have those going. You've got cameras all over the highways, cameras in all these stores. I would pretty much, the only place you shouldn't find a camera would be in like a public bathroom. Or it's hard to find a place where you wouldn't have a camera these days and not be picked up in some way, shape, or form. So assume you're on camera, whatever you're doing. Yeah. You know, the whole thing is where it was like you're supposed to do something nice when no one is watching, or do the right thing when no one is watching, kind of thing, that saying. Mm-hmm. Well, now everyone's watching.
That's true.
So if you're not doing the right thing by default, they're going to show that you're not doing it, and you might be embarrassed. All right, we're going to step out for a quick break. Steve in Woodbury, hang on, and 3 lines open for you. 860-522-9842 is the number. This is Computer Talk with Tab. We'll be right back.
If you've been injured, you deserve more than what the insurance company offers you or thinks you're worth. When you get Carter, we'll help you get more. More experience, more attention, and more accessibility. People who hire an attorney get 3 times more on average compared to what big insurance offers them. Their job is to get you to take less. Ours is to get you more. If you've been injured, call the Carter Mario Law Firm at 877-GET-CARTER or head to getcarter.com to get more.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs. Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Ground level storage containers, road trailers, or mobile offices. Don't get stressed, get Eagle. Just call Eagle Leasing at 1-800-GET-EAGLE or get a quote at eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Facilities managers, it's time to think inside the box. Storage trailers and ground level storage containers from Eagle Leasing are the way to go. I'm Mike Eagle. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or visit us at eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing. Play ball!
Town Fair Tire is proud to sponsor the Hartford Yard Goats all season long. Catch all the action at beautiful Duncan Park. Last season voted the best minor league ballpark in all of the minor leagues. Town Fair Tire and the Hartford Yard Goats, 2 Connecticut winning franchises, team up this season as the Yard Goats go for another playoff run. Town Fair Tire and the Hartford Yard Goats, rolling together all season long.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere. From dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke, an asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit GetCarter.com.
That's GetCarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Well, that's a sad way to
And
leave
I'll
school.
tell you all about it when I see you again.
All right.
We've come a
For
long
that 10-year reunion you're not going to go to?
from where we began.
I've never been able. Yeah, I couldn't get my own wife to go to any of them. She's like, I'm not going back. Okay, all right, we won't. But yeah, it's commencement time. It's supposed to be a happy time, Carolyn. Come on, you're bumming them out. We're going to be here until 11 o'clock. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9442. Yeah, you're out. No more school. Right? No more education. Let's go to Steve in Woodbury next. What's going on, Steve?
Yes. Hi. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Yeah. I'm calling because I wanted to know if there's any kind of a tool I can set up on a Windows 11 that would monitor the data going in and out of a USB port.
What are you trying to use it for? Just curious.
Well, I'm trying to hook it up to use the computer to control an older device that was designed for an RS-232 interface. I have a level a cable with a level converter built into it, and I was fooling around with it all day yesterday, and I couldn't seem to get things working, and I started wondering, well, maybe the cable's not working. So I went online and tried to look something up, and I'm getting all kinds of testers for this and testers for that, and I'm not sure. So I thought you guys were on the air, and I thought I'd ask you if you knew of anything that could just tell me, the computer is sending this packet out, and I'm getting this back from the device.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there are tools out there. We don't get that down to machine level like that these days. We don't interface computers much with hardware or equipment. But there are tools out there.
You can use Wireshark.
Yep. But that'd be more for IP-based stuff, wouldn't it?
No, it will capture USB traffic.
Really?
Yeah, really. There's a whole article about it
That's
right
a good
here.
one. All right. Yeah, it does do it. You're right. On Linux and Windows. And then there are specific ones too.
Right.
Okay, this is called Wireshark.
Shark.
Yes.
Shark.
Wireshark.
As in Mark the Shark?
As in Barracuda, as in Great White.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing tool.
Okay, and that will be able to tell me what kind of data is going in and out along this cable?
That's what it says. If that doesn't work, there are other tools called USB Trace, USB Monitor Pro. There's lots of these devices out there to actually display USB traffic in real time for debugging, which is what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Wireshark, USB Trace, and USB Monitor Pro would be good tools.
They are tools that have been recommended by the interwebs. We've used Wireshark, but I've used it for sniffing out IP packets. I would never think it was usable on USB, but it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So that's a great tool.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much for your help.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, debugging USB. That's some low-level stuff. That's some geeky stuff. All right, let's go on to our caller here. We're going to go to Joe in Berlin. What's going on, Joe?
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. I have an issue that on my Windows 11 computer, every time I go to shut it down, it tells me it needs to be
It needs to be what?
Updated. I need to install update.
Okay.
And I think it has something to do with I use RoboForm to fill in my password.
Okay.
And I think I just figured that out now, that when I start RoboForm, that's when
You're cutting in and out. So when you start RoboForm, it does what?
well, then on the lower right-hand panel on the screen, it shows a little red dot saying that I need to restart.
Only when you bring up that software.
Correct.
That seems a little weirdly coinkydink.
Yeah.
I don't think it's related, frankly. I would think your Windows just needs to be updated. I would say if you didn't bring up the RoboForm, it might still require the update, and maybe you're not getting the update that it thinks that maybe the update's failing, and it keeps trying to redo the update. That would seem more like it to me.
Okay, well, but I have done this, updated it multiple times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, the software RoboForm shouldn't be that integrally connected to force updates, right, Dennis? I can't think of any reason why it would.
No.
So to me, it seems more coincidental, right? It's almost like, hey, I had a ham sandwich and now my computer won't update. And every time I have a ham sandwich, it won't update. But it turns out you just love ham sandwiches and you always have ham sandwiches. So there may be a logical disconnect. I'm guessing here. It might just be a typical Windows update problem.
This has been going on for, I would say, weeks.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of months now.
All right.
So how can it be coincidental?
Oh, you have not met Microsoft, have you? Microsoft update problems or issues like this can go on forever. There could be some driver or some aspect of your machine. It has nothing to do with the software you think it has to do with that is causing this issue. And Dennis is looking it up. We're going to go and take a quick break here for the news. So can you hang on, Joe?
Yes.
All right, we'll hold you over. But that's to answer your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Microsoft and Windows updates not working properly is what? It's like peanut butter and jelly.
We get that all the time.
So we're going to take a look at that. Everything we talked about so far has been posted over at ComputerTalkWithTab.com. And if you're part of the Computer Talk with Tab listener network on Facebook, it'll go to that page as well. We'll be right back.
Russell Speeders Car Wash is proud to support canines for CT vets. When you wash your car at Russell Speeders, you're helping provide service dogs to Connecticut veterans in need. Shine up your ride and make a difference. Visit Russell Speeders Car Wash today, proudly supporting our heroes, one clean car at a time. Russell Speeders Car Wash. Clean cars, strong communities.
Are you an experienced account executive ready to take your career to the next level? At Odyssey, we're seeking a senior account executive to join our dynamic team. If you're passionate about advertising, marketing, and digital media, we have a proven track record of driving results. We want you. You'll work with top-tier clients, develop strategic solutions, and lead the charge in shaping successful campaigns. At Odyssey, you'll have the support and freedom to push boundaries and achieve your goals. Apply now. OdysseyInc.com/careers.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
70 degrees, showers in Hartford at 10:30. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. We could see some storms and showers here later today. Forecast coming up. A man who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador earlier this year is now back on U.S. soil. The case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia raising constitutional questions about the Trump administration's use of power. He's now facing new federal charges. A Meriden High School senior was taken into custody by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, WFSB, reporting the story just days before his graduation, according to the district's superintendent. In a letter to the district, Superintendent Mark Benini says the Maloney High School student was detained at an immigration hearing in Hartford. The student's name has not been released. The body of another hostage held in Gaza has been returned to Israel. Good Night and Good Luck, which has broken box office records and is nominated for 5 Tonys, to be shown live tonight on CNN. The last show will be tomorrow's matinee. Tony Awards will be presented Sunday in New York City at 8 o'clock. Yankees over the Sox. Last night, 9-6. The Mets beat the Rockies 4-2. Red Sox and Yankees tonight in the Bronx. Pregame right here on WTIC 1080 beginning at 6:35. Mets in Colorado for a 9:40 start.
WTIC weather.
Humid once again, but cooler with a cloudy sky. A couple of showers, even a thunderstorm around, especially late with a high of 72. Then partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 59, followed by a somewhat less humid day tomorrow with clouds much of the time and a high of 76. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues up next. 70 degrees, spotty light showers in the area in Hartford. Particularly. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
Ready to elevate your career? Odyssey is looking for a senior account executive to lead high-impact campaigns with top clients. If you're an experienced AE looking for your next challenge, we're looking for you. Apply today. OdysseyInc.com/careers.
With McValue at McDonald's, you don't just get deals on the drinks, you get deals on McDonald's drinks. So when you're breaking a sweat, embrace the chill without breaking the bank. And when your crew is running on empty, keep your wallet full while refreshing the squad.
Don't just pass the vibe check. Ace it with drinks like Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper, or any size soft drink for $1.39. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, Joe, what happened to your teeth? They look amazing.
Oh, you know, years of root canals, crowns, gum treatments. I got tired of it all. So I went to Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. They removed my bad teeth and gave me permanent new ones. Same day.
Wait, you walked out with new teeth?
Yep, it's called All for One. They place 4 implants and attach a full set of connected teeth. It's not 4 teeth, it's a full smile. I feel like a new man.
Call Columbia Implant Center at 860-730-6020. All for one. One day, one life-changing smile.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across our multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start June 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
All right, we are back. And we're here until 11 o'clock. And it's commencement season. That's what you're hearing. Guess you're going to launch. Good luck. Youngsters, speak truth to power, as they would say. And good luck to you all. Let's go back to Joe in Berlin. Hey, Joe, you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. So you may be right, sir. I may be wrong in my assumption that RoboForm is not causing some issues for you. The research I did tends to kind of agree with you. It could cause issues from what I found. So basically, from what I'm seeing out there, they're telling people to disable any browser extensions you have in your Chrome, Firefox, or Edge browsers of the RoboForm, and then see if your Windows update completes. It could be interfering with it. Believe it or not, which I would not have believed. So you may be right, sir. Congratulations on that. Now, Dennis may have found something else.
No,
Same thing.
I ended up in the same place that you went to.
All right. So yeah, you're probably right, Joe. So do you have browser extensions that are RoboForm as part of your browsers?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. So let's see if that works. Maybe you're onto something, kid.
I will. I will do that. Now, let me ask you one other question.
Yeah.
This computer, I've got two desktops, and they're hardwired into a router that's hardwired into my modem.
Yeah.
This one is the Windows 11 is so slow. I cleared all the cache, keep clearing it, and it's still, compared to the Windows 10 one, it's extremely slow.
So the old one is faster than the new one.
Yes, much faster.
Okay. Double check that you're connecting at the gigabit speed interface of your network interface. That's number one. So do a speed test. See if you're getting the speeds that your internet provider is supposed to be providing. Check it on both computers. All right. If the speeds are the same, which I suspect they will be, then the issue is the specs of your computer may not be as beefy as you would have hoped. So if you ended up, what are the specs on the new Windows 11 machine? Specs being the processor, the RAM, the hard drive. Do you know?
I did know. I did write it down, but I don't have it in front of me.
That's okay. That's okay. Compare them to the specs of the other machine. So it could be that you might have got a lesser processor, maybe less RAM, maybe you didn't get a solid-state hard drive. The issue
no, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, this does have a solid-state hard drive.
Nice.
And it has a updated. It has.
It's missing something. Because, again, if it's a newer machine, and it would perform the same way. So you do your speed tests. If the speeds are the same, it's not the internet. It's the computer, which is something you suspect, obviously. You can't think about it this way. If you bought a Yugo, remember the little Yugos? Or you bought a Honda Accord, if you put the same amount of stuff in the trunk, if you could fit it, the Yugo will not go any faster, right? It's going to only go 55 miles an hour and be lucky, whereas the Honda Accord is going to be able to go and move on and blast right past the Yugo, right? So it's the specs, right? It's the specs of that machine. So, or a moped.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You may have a moped of a computer versus a car, for whatever reason, depending on your specs.
Okay, I will. I got the specs on the other computer, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, the specs on the other one. Yeah, if you know the other one, that's
no. I did that.
Yeah.
Because I could not update my other computer, even though it has has everything you guys said. It won't update to Windows 11. Windows 11 does not.
Yeah.
Get this processor.
It probably has an older processor. Yeah.
Well. All right. I will. Let me check the specs, and then I'll let you guys know.
All right. Let us know. Thanks, Joe. And check the speeds.
I'm going to do that right now.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Our pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, because it's still a very big issue. Everyone thinks a computer is a computer is a computer, and they're not. different levels of processor, different amounts of cores inside the processors. So you can still, believe it or not, I think you can still get classic Pentium style systems out there, which, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't use that to run a microwave. But they exist. Like Celeron still exists, Pentium still exists. Be careful. If you have an i3, it's definitely not the same as an i9.
Yeah.
So
I'm bumping into, doing a little research here, I'm bumping into a feature of Windows called auto-tuning.
Auto-tuning of your computer?
Of your network connection.
Oh, your network connection.
Yes. It seems to be something that can be disabled or enabled or misbehave, and it's giving you the wrong internet speeds. So there are changes that you can make to that in Windows. I'm going to post a Reddit article that I found about it with a setting that someone used to straighten out a slow connection on a new computer. And it's something that has to be done in the command prompt.
Oh, low-level stuff.
Yeah. So you've got to open the command prompt as administrator, and then you're going to insert the command that's in this article.
All to turn off a tool that's automatically in there that you don't want.
Well, it should work normally, but apparently it doesn't, or it might be disabled by default. This command will turn it on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
To help you.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a plan. And we got some other calls coming in here, but that type of thing too. Again, with Microsoft, it's a GUI interface, Microsoft. But no, the auto-tune is a low-level DOS prompt command where you have to use the proper syntax in order to turn it on or off.
Okay. Can we talk about Microsoft 365?
We can. What do we need to talk about?
Once in a while, we have to provide send as permissions for a mailbox where you, Eric, want to send out maybe as get help at tabinc.com.
Yeah.
You need to have send as permissions on get help at tabinc.com, right?
All right, sure, yeah.
Okay, in 365, you can do that in the graphic interface.
The GUI, as it were.
You cannot do that with another permission called send on behalf of. You have to use a PowerShell command. And, of course, that requires you to connect to that tenant in PowerShell first. And then you can send the command to get that permission. Why is one of those permissions available in the GUI but not the other?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And Microsoft ain't talking.
No. I thought they just want things to work, Dennis. Didn't they just say they wanted things to work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Tony in Holland has got a question that I don't know if we can help here. What's going on, Tony?
How are you?
Good.
I have, for quite a while, I would go back and be able to listen to previous broadcasts that were on TIC, the various daytime shows and so forth.
Yeah, the podcasts?
Well, I don't know, podcasts. I was on the website and I would hit listen.
Yeah.
And then I would click on previous or full, I forget what it was called, full schedule.
Yep.
And when I clicked on full schedule, it would show me shows over the last 3 or 4 days.
Gotcha.
And then I would click on one of those, and I could bring up a show from the last 3 or 4 days. And this, I've done that for quite a while. At some point, I instead of just being on the website, I went into the what do you call it? I'm kind of computer illiterate.
The Odyssey app?
The Odyssey app, yeah. And that worked too. But now, whether I'm on the Odyssey app or just the WTIC website, I cannot get any audio sound.
Okay, so I'm looking here. You can't get any, well, what about other programs? Can you listen to YouTube or any other?
Yes, I have no problem. I mean, the audio works on my phone. It's just when I'm trying to listen to WTIC, I can't get any audio.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, Tony. Come on.
And there's no picture of a speaker with a line through it or no line through it where I can turn the sound on and off.
Yeah, no, there is.
There is?
Yeah, so if you go to, I'm on Computer Talk with Tab, Computer Talk with Tab's podcast from the WTIC site. And if you click on the little play where it has the little minutes there, you then will get our show. And you'll see you can go back 15 minutes, go ahead 15 minutes. You can hit the big play button there. And there's a big speaker right there where you would turn that up or down on the volume. So if you go to odyssey.com/podcast/Computer Talk with Tab, you don't have to do all that / and you can go right to WTIC's page. When you hit that little arrow to play, my lower right-hand corner did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and it gave me the ability to play and then turn the audio up or down. Now, I'm playing it right now, and I don't know if I can hear anything or not. Wouldn't that be funny if I couldn't either? It's not even playing for me. I hit play. You can. It's not. I have the same problem. I have the same problem you do.
Well, at least you're getting a picture of I guess to turn the speaker on or off, but I'm not even getting that.
Yeah, interesting. My speaker is totally all the way up. Oh, no, you know what? You know why I can't really hear it? Because it's going through my headset speaker. I don't have it through the other one. Can you test it, Dennis? I'm starting to think it is something with the website, but it can't be. It's got to be.
Well, I just punched in WTIC.com.
Yes, sir.
And Odyssey.com/WTIC comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Dennis is going to check, too. My interface,
Then
I think,
I'm
is
gonna-
going through my headset.
Well, then I hit listen.
Yeah.
Okay, and listen comes up, and I see the next screen that comes up says listen live. Okay, I'm more interested in listening to past shows over the last few days, but
yeah,
I'm gonna hit listen live. Okay. Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm talking to you on the same phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we can hear it. Dennis just tested. I could hear it over on his laptop. It's you.
Yeah.
It's you, Tony. It's you. It's not the system. It's not the station because it's definitely working. Because Dennis just proved it. I could hear him as he tapped on it.
It could definitely be my Samsung phone. I don't know, but I mean, like I said, I used it for a long time without a problem, and now recently I have a problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll put you on a break real quick, and we'll see if we can solve it for you. Okay, sir?
All right.
All right. We're going to step out for a quick break. Get back with Tony and his listening issues with Computer Talk with Tab. We'll be right back.
It takes a special kind of person to fix a sewer or storm drain. Like Joe the Plumber. We're sewer and storm drain excavation experts. We'll pinpoint the problem and fix it fast. It's a dirty job, but, well, you know the rest. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
Tune in to WTIC News Talk 1080 for Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon. Learn from the top experts about the latest medical news and call in with your questions. Healthy Rounds, sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com.
For year-round home comfort and energy savings, you need the best HVAC system and service. That's why you need to go with Petro. Right now, Petro has an offer for a new energy-efficient central AC system from America's most trusted brand, Train, with $0 down and low monthly payments. For expert AC tune-ups and 24/7 emergency repairs, go with your local HVAC pros. Go with Petro. Go to petro.com, call 844-HVAC-4YOU or 844-482-2496 today.
Retirement statements just hit mailboxes, and for many, the shock is real. Some investors lost 20% or more in just the first quarter. If you're close to retirement, that's more than a dip. It's a danger. But here's what most advisors won't tell you. Gold was up over 30% during the same time. That's a 60% swing. And in retirement, that kind of gap can change everything. So compare your Q1 statement to gold's performance. Then, call Noble Gold Investments. Noble Gold specializes in helping people protect what they've earned with real assets like gold and silver. If you're tired of watching your nest egg shrink, it may be time for a change. And right now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. Compare and call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for
Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
There it is. The song that you'll hear as you go off into the future. We congratulate you, class of 2025. This is Carolyn's idea here. She's our producer, and she's also involved in higher ed, so we think that's pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Tony in Holland. And so, Tony, we do think it's you. We've confirmed it's definitely something with your system. If you're running Windows 11, Tony?
I don't know. I mean,
okay.
I have a Samsung phone that's probably 6 months old or 8 months old.
So you're listening over the phone? Via the phone?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
my goodness. Okay. So you're using the phone browser to actually, you're browsing on the phone and trying to get over. I would tell you to use the app rather than the browser.
Yeah, I would be going to get the app.
Yeah, do you use the Odyssey app, Tony?
Well, I did, and that was working for a while, and then that stopped working, so I got rid of the app, and I went back to the way I had been listening to it previously, which was just going on WTIC's website and clicking on things.
It could be. I'm telling you, go back to the app and look at your speaker settings. So I can tell you every now and again, it sounds like you might be a little bit like my wife as far as how the technology works. And she can always figure out a way to make it so she can't get any kind of audio notifications, that my pings aren't working, my phone's not ringing. I can't tell you how many times she figures out how to make that stop working. So double check your...
Now that's...
Yeah?
Yeah, that's not in settings that you're talking about. That's on the app itself?
In both places. Double check your settings on your speaker are correct, so you're getting the actual audio. It should have the actual, like a picture of a note.
Yeah.
That would be impactable. So you put the note up, because it's rings, it's notifications, it's the actual audio, which is depicted by a note. Make sure that's up. And then I would tell you to download the Odyssey app again and log in and see, just pick any station just to see how it works. But I suspect you have got the speaker volume turned down. That's why you can't hear it.
Well, I think I've been on iHeart, too, and I didn't have any problems with, hearing the programs I was listening to there.
That doesn't make any sense, though. They work the same exact way. I mean, there's no setting that I can think of in a phone that would tell one app not to work and another one to work. I can't even think of how you would turn that on to do that. Like, how would you say, I'd never want to hear audio from one app and not from another?
You might go into the app permissions in your settings.
Yeah, that's true. With the app, I can't imagine even app permissions have speakers permissions. Like, do I have access to send audio? They could, but you would have had to go pretty deeply in there to turn that type of thing off. So,
well, like I said before, some things you're looking at and you see the picture of the speaker itself with either a line through it or no line, and you can click on it to get sound or turn sound off. But there's nothing like that either that I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a permission in a Samsung phone called Music and Audio. And it is a little note.
Yep.
What I would do is go into once you get the Odyssey app on the phone, go into your settings and then go to apps and go into the list of apps, tap on Odyssey, and then tap on permissions, and it will list all of the different permissions that the app is going to have. One of them should be music and audio. And if it's under the not allowed section, tap on that and then click on allow.
Okay.
That's the only way you would have specifically disallowed that app from making any sound.
Okay, and while I'm there, which one should I turn off if they're on?
No, you're turning them on, not off. We want you to turn on things.
I understand that, but are there any permissions that I do want to turn off while I'm looking?
Oh,
at that?
fair question. That comes down to your level of paranoia when it comes to tracking, right? So, location access is one of the things that most folks want to turn off if they don't want to be tracked by the phone specifically. However, your phone is being tracked anyways, just by the cell towers and your cell service. So at some point we have to realize, and I'll turn them off too, don't get me wrong, but I do realize that even though I've turned off my location tracking on specific apps so they can't sell my location to whoever wants to find out, I do know that the actual carrier itself knows where I've been. Not that I'm doing anything wrong.
Yeah. How long does your carrier keep that information for? Forever?
So depends on the carrier. Because they could. All right. Anybody who pinky swears they deleted something doesn't mean they actually deleted something.
True.
So I would assume it's there forever. Again, not that you're doing anything wrong, Tony.
They know where you were 5 years ago, though. Huh?
Yeah, your smartwatch, your phone, your any smart thing will know where you are. So it's where the whole thing is going, Tony. Hope that helps you. We got to go to a break here.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, good luck, sir. I think he turned his sound off. I really do.
Maybe.
I want to thank Carolyn for producing as always. Nice job, Mike G for doing his thing, posting everything to Twitter and Facebook, and of course Dennis posting everything to ComputerTalkWithTab.com.
And remember, we want you to be geeks too.
And congratulations, class of 2025.
Russell Speeders Car Wash is proud to support canines for CT vets. When you wash your car at Russell Speeders, you're helping provide service dogs to Connecticut veterans in need. Shine up your ride and make a difference. Visit Russell Speeders Car Wash today, proudly supporting our heroes, one clean car at a time. Russell Speeders Car Wash. Clean cars, strong community.